you may realize I do not. Oh shoot! BTS is playing. I don't have my camera with me, so I am currently just doing it on my phone because I forgot my camera. I was messing around with it, but then I completely forgot with it. It's been a day. It's been a day. I am like half ready because I had to have a little sesh with my mom. Mommy dearest. We talked before I started getting ready. And now I'm going to go see Sarah Parker. Isn't that exciting? So exciting. Since I'm not the one driving up into the city, it's my sister-in-law, I get to wear some platform shoes. And maybe you'll see my outfit after the event, or maybe during it, IDK. So, made it to the event. It's very pretty in here. I think I've only been here twice. One for Rachel Gillig, and I think someone else. I can't remember. Not sure. But I'm here with my sister-in-law and what's up, Emily. What's my lipstick? It looks like my lipstick is bleeding.
Falling Dragon. Whenever we were getting these books in, we had to like immediately open these boxes because we're like, we have to see it. We have to see the art. We have to see the spread. And she turned out gorgeous. So she's gonna look like such a beautiful like shelf trophy on your guys' shelf. And so I'm also super excited tonight. We have local famous celebrity Georgia Deeker in conversation. Okay, who is active in the Bookstagram community? Y'all? Yeah? If you're not following her, you should follow Georgia. Her ad is at Peachy Queen Cosplays, and she truly has like the most beautiful bookish cosplays I've ever seen. And she is just like one of our favorite people in the world, so it's always so exciting whenever we get to have Georgia come in and do conversations, because she is just as a nerd of us. Like, she's as nerdy as we are about these books, so it's like, it's even more fun because it's like one of our friends. And so a little bit about Sarah for tonight, because it's my favorite thing to like boast on them with their bios. So Sarah A. Parker is the New York Times bestselling author of When the Moon Hatched. Born in New Zealand, Sarah now lives on the Gold Coast with her husband and 3 young children. Sarah has been writing since she was small and can be found on all the major social media platforms if you want to keep up to date with her upcoming releases. So, St. Louis, let me hear a very special, very loving launch day welcome to Sarah and Georgia.
Everybody, oh my god, it's such an interview. Thank you so much for coming to celebrate with us today. It's so wonderful to see you all, and I can't wait to check Ballad and to sign some books for you all.
So I'm not used to this phone. It's a flip phone, so I should have had this ready to go. I'm so sorry.
You're fine. I've had a flip phone since I was like, I don't know, 16.
Angry people?
I love it. Snap.
Sorry, I'm easily distracted. Okay, while I pull this up, how about you catch us up on where we ended the last book, where we are right now.
Yes.
Just do the thing.
Okay. Alright. So, book 1, actually I'm going to start by sort of giving a bit of an all-over. Book 1 actually was originally the first half of book 1 plus book 2. So, where we left off, we literally start off in Ballad from that point. So, we left off with, and actually, is there anyone here that hasn't read Moon? Am I schooling them for spring break? No, okay. Lucky is.
Put the earmuffs on.
Just real quick. So we left Moon, remember, with Little Nee, fluttering into Kazari's cell. So, and we had the revelation of who Kazari is to Rahab and to Khan. So, and we're starting off again, bang on where we left off. So yeah, this is the second half of the book. So I see it as one big book because it was originally that way in my mind. So we're just kicking right off there. Yeah.
Do you feel bad about where you left us in the last book?
No.
Okay.
No, only because. So when I did realise early on in the process that I needed to split it because it was going to be too big. It was going to be a really
She's
big.
shocking.
Oh yeah. And can you imagine that paperback double the size? No. All like the writing would have been so small that everyone would have been like this. So no, when I realised that it was going to be too big, I went, you know what, this is actually a perfect opportunity because I feel like we need to understand Kazari, we need to understand the relationship, we need to understand those missed opportunities there, we need to understand kind of what went down, we need to sit with this revelation for a while. I didn't expect it would be 2 years, I'm really sorry. But we need to sit with this revelation for book 2 to really have its stage and for everything to really properly hit in book 2. So, although I finished that final word and I sat in the shower and cried for 20 minutes, I knew that I had done the right thing by having all those diary entries all peppered throughout, that we have all that revelation there right at the end, and that we can then go into book 2 with the chessboard set essentially, so we can start playing. So look, it's interesting because I feel like Bella doesn't have as much of a cliffhanger, I don't think. I don't think so anyway. I mean, anyone who has pre-read it, I might think otherwise, but I don't think it's as bad. But I do tend to, typically in the past, write with a bit of cliffhanger. But Moon's one is, I guess, tame compared to my Crystal Bloom series, where I'm quite brutal on those ones. So.
It's okay. We forgive you, kind of.
I thought I would dip into it more, but just getting it down, and this is actually how I studied when I was younger too. I had a test coming up. I would write everything down the night prior, like cram. It's a real last minute study. But I would just cram the night before and write everything down, and then it was in my head. So yeah, it's just kind of how, it's really helped me. Look, it took me a lot to learn this, though. I initially, my world building, it was my greatest weakness, I feel. And I realised that quite early on in my writing career that was something I really needed to work on. So when I did first see that world, I knew at that time that I didn't have the chops to pull it off, that I needed to sharpen that blade and sort of skill myself up to be able to do it. So I worked really hard to I guess learn different ways to flavour a world and to get things across, and also try and work out how to give you all this really big world, but try not to bog down with it as well, because my first actual, I think, 10 chapters of the book, initially, I stuffed it down everyone's mouths. And I had a couple of people who's gone in and like, Sarah, okay, this is like too much sauce. So I went back in and I made sure that Rav was really pulling us through the world and we were learning it with her. That was a really hard balance to find when I'd been living in this world for 3 years. So I'm like, here, you need everything. Here it is. It's all important, but actually, it's not. But so for any aspiring writers out there, anyone who's working on their own books, that is one thing that I have learned is that actually getting down that first draft and going, here is everything. Then you can go back and you go, okay, well, what is important, what isn't? And quite often, quite a lot of, I think I deleted like 30,000 words from those first number of chapters. So yeah, just you can go back, you can carve out, and then just pop them all in a different document. So you know it's still there, you know it still exists. It hasn't been lifted from the world, but it does it's important that the story moves at the start. So yeah. So the world was there for 3 years, but the story actually, it's interesting because different stories are populated in the world for me. And at one point of that 3-year planning period, I thought I was going to be telling a different part of the story. I thought I was going to be telling a story further in the past. Yeah, so I might say that later, we'll see.
I was like, okay, wait. Are we getting a prequel? Are you allowed to say that?
No, look, I'm not going to make any promises, but it's lovely to open for myself to do it.
You can blame me if that goes on the internet. You can fully blame me, that's okay.
So we'll see. see, but the door is definitely open there, and there's it's funny because I originally, when I was planning things out, I was going to very much. I don't know. I'm going to spoil things. No, I'm going to stop.
Next question, anyways. For book one, which timeline came to you first, Rafe's present or Elwyn's past? And did you originally write it in the order of sequence we read it in?
Elwyn's past, definitely Elwyn's past. So, in those diary entries, so I was at a certain point in the book when I went, okay, we're here, I'm now going to step out from here and I'm going to write that. And again, I already had planned out, I knew this series of events, I knew what I was working with, I was just waiting until I was ready to do those diary entries. And I sat down and I just did them all in sequence, and it was a really rough, really emotional week. Because some of them were quite heavy and some of these moments were quite tragic. And but yeah, I sat down like I was Ellen and wrote the diary like it was her, so I channeled her. So, and then it was actually quite fun dispersing them throughout the story, and trying to find parts for it to kind of not take away from the main part of the story, because sometimes I guess when there are different timelines at play, it can be quite distracting. So I wanted to kind of use those diary entries to either have a little break from the main timeline or to honour something that is going on in the timeline. And so yeah, that was fun. Figuring out exactly what
breaking naturally, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm one of those people that gets irritated when that happens in the stories, and when I read When the Moon Hatched, that did not happen. I was very it's like, okay, what the heck is going on? But I understood as a reader, okay, sidebarring here kind of makes sense. So good job.
Thank you.
So
I keep up with emails that come in. It's so funny, last tour, I was like, I'm going to use this tour to, on the planes, I'm going to write a little fun story that I've always had in the top of my mind. I'm just going to, just a little one, I'm just going to have fun with it and just maybe not even do anything with it, maybe just write and get it out. No. Sarah is so optimistic, at certain times in her life, and then reality comes and it's like, no. So I'm surviving. But I did recently, actually, so after I did hand everything over, we hopped on a plane, and again, I couldn't access my emails, and I couldn't, I was done. Look, I passed everything over, and we were heading to Canada to do a snowboarding trip. And for the first 5 hours, I just stood out the window, and I was like, I felt very lost, very weird suddenly in this world where I wasn't sort of tethered to anything. And Josh said to me, he goes, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm just weird. I'm not, but I will be. But then I did have a story that I downloaded on Kindle, and I was like, I'm gonna give this a shot. I've seen a lot, I've talked about a lot, and fun fact, I don't read when I'm writing. So I have, my TBR is mountainous. So since I've got pen to paper with Mo, the only things I've really read have been for better reading for friends, or it's really, I haven't had the chance. I've got a first edition of fourth book I haven't touched, and that's how bad it is. I haven't all these big books that have come out, and I haven't had a chance to get to them. I will eventually, but I picked up this story and I freaking loved it, and I chewed through book 2. I'm now hanging off a cliffhanger, waiting for book 3. And I'm wondering if any of you know what it is based on that. But it's the Wolf King. Yeah.
What's that by? I don't think I've heard that one.
It's like, if you enjoy it, which I know you did. Yeah. The thing sort of there with in UK with Scottish and England and with werewolves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was not going where I thought it was.
No, trust. Just trust. Come on the journey with us, and you'll love it. You'll love it.
Okay, I'm excited about that. And that reaction was kind of crazy, so
sold.
so I think
I can answer that one. All right. Kill. Oh, golly. Now I'm like, kill Stephen King. Mary Khan, obviously. Got my own green flag union man up there somewhere. Can't see him right now, but he's hanging around.
Stand up and do some jumping jacks.
Yeah. I got jumping jacks. And freak. For somebody who swears a lot in my books, like I struggle to say.
I know. I'm kind of like, when I look at it, I'm like, am I going to spell it out? Am I going to say it? Because I know there's like a few kids in the audience, but like...
No, like we're out, so we've got 3 kids, right? So William, our eldest, he's 12 and going on 13, and he's like, he's at that age where he's like, oh, it's cool to throw a swear word down every now and again. We have enforced a law that when he swears, he has to do 10 push-ups. And this is whether or not we're like driving or anywhere. Like we'll pull over, like down. We have the same rule. Sometimes Josh will be driving and he'll drop an F-bomb, and the kids are like 10 push-ups. He's like, and they're like 20. Literally pull over. Even if we're on the highway, he'll take an off-ramp. He will pull over. Cower to him, and he will drop, and he will give the kids 20. So,
As someone
you're
who...
really upper body strong.
No, but that's like, they're going to learn.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to learn not to swear. That's amazing.
Well, you think, but it's time to come for the gimmick now. He's like, I'm going to get 100, Mum. Yeah, sure, I'm going to do them in advance. I'm going to give myself some tokens. And really, he'll do like 50, but I've got 5.
Do you know it doesn't work that way?
No, he's like, oh, no, always this way.
Maybe it's the rules. I got it.
He's going to be the sort of like prepays taxes kind of guy, you know?
So what's the timeline that we're looking at? Do you know for the next book?
I will never give a D-date again. I am traumatized from making you guys wait and pushing it back 3 times, and that was all me, by the way. That had nothing to do with my publishing house, that was all me. The first pushback was again, I knew I needed that extra time, and then we could only do it in increments because of, there's certain, I guess, rules around it with pre-orders and bits and pieces. So, but the last pushback, where it was, I think, by about 2 weeks or 2 or 3 weeks, that was purely so I could have another chance to read it in physical form and make sure that everything was coming across right on page. And I love them for allowing me that time. It meant that things were very tight for them, and they actually, what ended up happening, they gave me another month, but they only pushed it back by less time than that. So it was, you know what I mean. They cut themselves short to be able to make the extra time for me at every step of the way. So because I am a control freak and I love things to be, I want to present this my art to you guys in its best possible form, and they honoured that and honoured me through that, so I was very thankful about that. Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like your publishers all around are really nice then to kind of like allow that to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's like a standard or anything,
I have no
but
idea, but yeah, I feel
that's nice. You make sure the story's good and you get the time you need.
The thing is, I really do look at the stories that I put out as, I need to look back and go, I would write that differently, because that story really is a part of me at that time of my life. But where was I going with that? Sorry, I just completely lost my train of thought. This happens sometimes. I call it perimenopause. What were we talking about? Sorry. Amnesia trope or jet lag, one or the other.
Having your publisher give you kind of grace at the time and...
Yes,
That
very
didn't
much
help?
grace. Much grace. No, I'm not wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Singing a
I
song.
was going towards a really juicy point. I could feel it. I was like, yeah. I don't have an internal dialogue. There's no voices in my head. So everything that's coming out of my mouth is all unfiltered. I don't think before I speak, because does anyone else not have an internal dialogue? Yes. All right. Maybe some of us, down to us. We're just something through life unfiltered.
Mine did not show up.
must be so nice and quiet up there.
I asked my family once, I was like, who has one, who doesn't? Because, you know, I'd seen something online and I was like, oh my God, people have voices? And like, they were like, no, yes, and I was like, you know, I've got like 5. I'm like, I've got none. Josh, he's like, yeah, it's constantly just talking to myself, like, oh, this is great. I hear songs. Sometimes over and over again, but that's it, yeah.
I'm
Sorry.
learning so much about you tonight that I never knew. I'm obsessed with it.
How are we on time?
I know, I feel like we're on time, and I want you guys to be able to meet.
Yeah.
Oh my God, where did you come from? I was looking for you. I was asking for you. It's Haley, everyone. Okay. I'll give you the microphone now. Great. Oh, Georgia.
Okay, let's give a round of applause for Georgia and Sarah. Okay, we are gonna take a picture because y'all know what the drill is. Marketing.
Okay, you're not gonna get the best lighting, but this is the outfit. So, move that. The shirt has a crescent moon on it. I'm wearing this skirt, and then these are the shoes. Get closer. So yeah, that is the outfit. So it obviously pulled up my outfit. Yes, Miss Aylin pulled up in my outfit, and the person overseeing the event, she's like, "Oh my God, like your dress or whatever," and I'm like, "Oh, it's not a dress, skirt," and I'm like, "But let's have a moment for the shoes." And I popped out the leg. So she could see the shoes. She's like, "Oh my gosh, are those demonias or not demonias? Is it demonias?" And I said, "No, they're Killstar." But I'm surprised she knew. Like, okay, girl, I see you. Are you actually an alt baddie? Because you give off cottage core. Anyway, and of course, pull up because like with the moons, it's giving like, you know. Hold on. As you know, when the moon hatched. So that's why I'm doing all these moons. And so I pull up to the author and she's like, "Oh my God, I love the outfit." And I'm like, "Look at the shoes." And I popped my foot up. And I miss wearing these shoes. I don't wear them often. Mainly because they're such a hassle to wear. But period. Slay. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I'm hungry. I gotta eat. I gotta shower, and then I gotta sleep. But yeah, you didn't really get to see like the thing because we really don't get a photo taken with the author. They just were taking like candid photos while we're talking. I wonder if there's a photo of me going me like popping up my foot. If there is, it's gonna be right here. Anyway, so yeah, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.